I guess it would help if I would have turned off the black.
Fade to black, never come back.
Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I was thinking, like, oh, what kind of snide, funny little thing am I going to say when it comes in? And it never came in. And then I'm like, oh, and then you have to scroll up to get to that.
You're a disappointment to everybody here and also me.
Well, let's do it again. I'm just kidding. We won't go through that whole thing again. Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Project Talk, your favorite off the rails, never goes right live stream. I said to James, I said, just once, just one time, I would like for us to come in and sit down and to be able to fire up a stream and have everything work.
Yeah.
And it just never happens.
And I did come down a bit early because, I didn't tweet much about it, but we did have an ice storm go through here yesterday and we lost power. We were without power for, about 24 hours. So I did come down knowing that, like, my computer is going to be started and there's probably updates that applied that were just waiting to destroy my life. So thanks, Billy
great.
Gates.
Now I'm running Windows 11. Oh, no, I've actually been in here since 6 tonight. Because of having the network issues. So I came in and I blew out all my network drivers and reloaded network drivers and ran system file checker, which apparently has found some corruption. There's just corruption everywhere. I don't know how
especially in politics.
No doubt. Yeah, no, it would just be so nice to just one time be like, hey, let's stream. And then boom, it just happens and everything's great. But
just boom goes the dynamite.
It doesn't. But I can run down the chat real quick. Sergio is here and Builders Mark is here. Ollie is here. Hello, Ollie. Paul Cumber, how are you? Martin is here.
3DP Iceland.
It's not really true. I think there's more people watching. It's just that's all that said anything in the chat. So, if you want to be recognized, you gotta not that guy. I'm kicking that guy out right now. If you want to be recognized, you gotta say something in the chat. So, all right. So I am going to tell you guys right now that I was this close to streaming from the garage tonight. Like I started gathering up the equipment. I was going to put my laptop out there and hook up a camera because I'm knee deep in a project right now. And then I realized that you guys aren't allowed to see what it is yet.
It's not because he's trying to protect and stop people from copying him. It's that he doesn't want to admit that he never finished it in the event that he never finishes it.
Right. No, I have to. It's my ride to Power Tour. So I didn't even get to tell James anything about this because we didn't have a whole lot of time to chat before the stream. But I did my barn find rescue on Saturday, and nope, that's all I'm telling you. So I have the vehicle that I'm taking to Hot Rod Power Tour 2023 in my garage, and it is completely undrivable at this moment. But I'm excited. I'm super excited. So if you guys are anywhere near any of the venues, which would be Atlanta, the South Carolina State Fairgrounds, I'm gonna have to cheat and look up the other 3. Bristol is the final one. Bristol, Tennessee, the Bristol Motor Speedway, and there's 2 in North Carolina. I'm hoping by the time the event actually happens, I'll remember them. Come on down. It is Oh, I thought this was the page.
No.
Oh, did your audio just go? Are you frozen? Am I frozen? The little icon is up there saying that my internet connection sucks again.
Maybe.
I at this point, I don't know whose problem it is.
The old speed cast.
You guys will have to let me know. James is digitizing real bad to me. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. Ollie says, I'm okay. James is broken. Sergio says, I'm okay. James was having a little technical difficulties when we got going. His audio kept dropping.
Pizza slice.
I'm only getting every like third syllable. And your picture is really fuzzy, like super low quality.
Aluminum siding.
I heard siding. We just can't get a break, man. We just can't get a break. DT Mash said Robo James. But anyway, yeah, it's Atlanta, Columbia,
Can you
Rockingham,
hear me
and
now?
Concord. I can hear you, can't see you. I could hear you. I can't hear you anymore if you're saying anything. Say your alphabets. Well, this was fun. Good night, everybody. Just can't get a break. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that I'm okay. It's not showing me the little weak signal icon. I thought maybe I had my problem whipped. I don't really want to. Oh, I heard you clear your throat.
Oh my god.
And you're gone. It's like I don't know. Should I tell you guys jokes or sing a little song, do a little dance, get down tonight? Just checking the emails. So while we wait for James to correct everything, Mark said, "Tell us the car you found." I don't know if I should. I mean, I guess there's only a few of you in here, and I love to give spoilers. What if I show you a picture of it? Is that better? Actually, I kind of do need to tell you. I kind of do need to tell you guys what it is because I might need some help finding parts. Give me a second, and I will. I hear you breathing. Creeper. All right, you're back.
From outer space.
Okay, I can hear you
I
speaking.
think there's a Windows update or something running in the background.
And it's just like overdoing it.
Well, we both know that this machine is not the fastest or the most furious. So, yep, that's hot garbage. Check it and see.
It's got a temperature of 53 Celsius.
It's got performance like something STD. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to pull up a photo of this. I'm going to share this with you guys.
This isn't going to be a photo of your butthole again, is it?
No, I only do that on the other channel.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 375 times. Have you ever seen, there's a guy that did a song called Have You Checked Your Butthole? And it's all about his dad joke about when somebody's like, I can't find my friend's like, I can't find my keys. I'm like, have you checked your butthole? The song's like 3.5 minutes long and it's so funny. And there's like the music is like da 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 da. So one of my coworkers is the one that introduced me to it. So he'll say like, oh, I can't find this. And I'll just go da 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 da. And he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't even have to say it. All I'm saying is maybe check your butthole.
Mark said just the taillight. I didn't actually take a picture of the taillight. I have video of the taillight. I don't have any pictures of the taillight.
Tail
So
light,
how
more like
about
a
this would be fun. I snippeted. I used the snipping tool, and I took just a little snippet of part of the car, and I'll share that. It's not very big, but that's all you get for right now.
That's
So
what she
let's see.
said.
Can you identify it? Can you identify it there? That's a little bigger.
I can, but you've also told me what it is, so that might be. You know what I mean? Like I can't tell you if I can identify it because I couldn't remember what it was, but now that I see it, I'm like, it's this. But now it's that odd thing is like, did I recognize it or was it just enough to remind me that that's what it is?
Mark said, I think there used to be a game where you had to guess the vehicle based on just a part. There's actually there's like a Wordle, like a daily game.
Is it called Cardle?
What's that?
Is it called Cardle?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, they're sitting on a gold mine.
I will. It's called Name That Ride, and it's at namethatride.com.
Name that ride.
Sergio nailed it. But what year? What year?
I always just say everything's 1969 because it's funny.
Well, so part of this car is a 1969.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But not the car. Yeah, so the Name That Ride game, I do that daily. I got to say I'm actually pretty good at it. It usually only takes me one guess, and I usually have it in the first 6 seconds. But you have to guess the year and the make and model of the car. I mean, if you start typing, it gives you options, but. All right, so can I just show the car now?
That's up to you, buddy.
Well, I was talking to them. Okay, I guess I have to remove that. And then do it again. Window, that window.
To the windows. To the walls?
That's Sergio said 1970. No. This will help. This will help quite a bit. This will get you into a much tighter range. That is 20 years of dust on that car. I'm so excited.
And you just can't hide it.
Oh my gosh. It even has a lovely artistic rendering of a gator drawn on the windshield. That gator was drawn on there about 2 years ago, I guess. And that's when I first started talking about taking on this project. And I told the previous owner, I said, do not touch this car any further. Do not do anything with it. Don't open the doors. Don't wash the dirt off. Nothing. Do not do anything to this car. DT Match said I was born in '69. Great icebreaker in interviews. So, the help that I need with this car. I need tires. Yep. So you just run down and buy tires. Except for these are 15s. And there's about 2 selections for 15s anymore. So if anybody has a run on good, decent, they don't have to be good. They just have to be decent. Cheap 15-inch tires or 255/60 15s. The backs on these have fantastic tread. The problem is they are 23 years old. So I'm not driving them 1,600 miles. The fronts are I don't know if you can tell from this picture, but the fronts are coned really bad. Like you see how much tread is on the outside, and then they just go to almost nothing on the inside. So I'll be roasting them bad boys off there. Oh yeah.
I was concerned that my AliExpress screen purchase had been so is that camera still working? Yeah, it's I just realized how they've just got this one camera that's like off on an angle here. So on the edge of this screen, you can see there's metal mounting brackets, like little screw holes.
Yeah.
Two of them were just bent flat against the framing, and this is an OLED display with not a lot to it. So I was concerned that it wasn't the metal framing wasn't the only thing that got smashed.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Because that's my next big computer related project.
Oh, those computers are so boring.
Oh, do you want to see? I can't share it with every. Well, would it hurt to share this? No, I don't think this. I don't think showing this reveals anything to do with the project.
I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna show.
It's my butthole. Da-da, da-da. I'm gonna send you a picture on the Twitters. Oh, some guy tagged me in a live stream that he was doing today.
That's weird.
Sorry. You know, can't help but respect the hustle. There's people that like. Do you ever get scam messages on Twitter? And you go and it's like, I don't know, like, come help me manage my Bitcoin money, and they make it look like they sent it to you by accident. It's got a username and password for their Bitcoin site.
Right. Yeah.
And then you go and you're like, oh, I'm going to withdraw some Bitcoin, and then there's a service fee to remove it. Anyways, it's now just to the point where I just get messages. I open the message and it's a link to somebody's OnlyFans. No context, no message trying to. It's just here's a link to my OnlyFans.
Oh, that's pretty hot here in Florida. I could use some new fans.
I think the most awkward thing for me is discovering somebody that runs an OnlyFans. I know two people. I know a few people that run an OnlyFans, and I'm worried Kay's gonna find the credit card. No, I'm just kidding. That's the test print for the thing that I've been working on to see if pieces fit.
Oh, okay.
Which is basically just like the full backbone, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna make it real easy for doing future case design since I modeled that out separately. So I can
then you can model every case going forward around that.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can show it if you want. I don't think that gives away anything at all, other than
I don't think it does either.
I'm designing a computer case. I'm actually designing a computer case and like a whole system, including like it's gonna have a monitor and it's gonna have its own keyboard and mouse and stuff like that. But that doesn't give away anything either, because most computers have a keyboard and a mouse and monitor.
All right. I grabbed it with the snipping tool just so that I don't give away any of my Twitter information.
Yeah, we don't want anybody following you on the Twitter.
Well, it's not that.
No,
I have I have passwords and stuff to my OnlyFans.
All the passwords are belly button.
Belly button lint.
Now, everybody can ignore the fact that because I sent this picture to Mitch and he's like, that's old technology. I'm like, yep. I had this motherboard monitor and a wireless card just sitting on top of something, and I had an IO shield that's almost the right IO shield for it. It's proper until you get to the audio at the end. So I snapped the IO shield in and made sure everything lined up except for the part that's not the same, to make sure that the IO shield was where it was supposed to be. But that's an AMD Athlon XP 2500 Plus with, I think it's a TNT2 GPU, an AGP TNT2, and however much RAM, and also so much dust.
Yeah, it's very dusty. Yeah.
It is. That is. I pulled it out of a system and I haven't cleaned it because I'm not ready to use it for anything yet. But the fan's still very free spinning, so I'm gonna have to pull it apart. And it's also got that color of dust that makes you know that it came out of a smoker's house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's got the nicotine dust.
It's a little brown. It's a little brown note.
Yep.
It smells like brown too. So
uh. Well, the chat went completely silent. It's either broken or nobody's saying anything. What is wrong with you people? Talk.
my broken stuff took them
You
all down with it.
know what it is? It was either the fact that I released what the car was, or
Oh,
or
I don't think
because I
anybody's
gave them
dropping out.
because I gave them the link to name that ride. They're all playing name that ride. I got today's in 2 seconds, one guess. As soon as the back wheel came in, there was a part of the car that absolutely gave it away. Year, make, model, bam.
I think Name That Ride is also a game that aggregates stuff from OnlyFans. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that joke because I walk a line.
That's good. Family friendly channel.
Got to keep it family friendly. Hey, hey.
Oh, my back is killing me. I sat at the sandblast cabinet for about 3.5 hours yesterday. I have
Your colon's never been cleaner though.
Right. I have a Harbor Freight sandblast cabinet, and for the money, they're well worth it. The problem is one, they're too short. They need to be a little bit taller. And then the fact that the way that it's shaped, the top lays back so far, so you have to stand over it like this, looking down into it, as where the bigger, more professional ones, the window is in front of your face. You're just standing up, looking into it. So,
Do you know the first time I ever used a sandblasting cabinet was in high school. The school bought one. They originally bought it for cleaning spark plugs.
well, that's
So,
extreme, but okay.
um, and then one of the woodworking teachers like sandblasting also is really good for like woodworking projects. So he ordered the material that is sand resistant. So you cut out like lettering in,
Yeah,
and
mass.
then you
Yeah,
and it was like now that I think back, it was like poor man CNC.
yeah, I guess, kind of, yeah,
It's
yeah. Etch mask.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, kind of literally. Other than the fact that you can't assure that the depth is going to be identical at all parts,
that's
and
true. Yeah,
cer-
that's user skill, right?
yeah, and also certainly not as smooth a finish out of the gate with sandblasting. It kind of chunks away at it a little bit, but
Right. Well, it
still
depends
pretty.
on the material,
Yep.
but no, I went in last night afterwards. I went in and I sat down on the couch and I said to my wife, I said, I just want to thank you for being an awesome wife. And she goes,
What'd you do?
why? And I said, no, listen. I said that car needs 4 brake calipers. They're $140 a piece. You can get them cheaper, but they're the ones that are built by 12-year-olds in some third world nation. I said they're $140 a piece. I said, but because of the equipment that I have, I was able to prep them and get them ready for rebuild, where it's only going to cost me like $10 a piece. And she goes, well, that's good because I was about to have a heart attack that you were going to spend $140 on 4 parts. And I said, oh, well, you better strap in.
That's just the tip of this particular iceberg.
That's not even the expensive part yet.
I have to change all of the high beam fluid, and that's gonna cost. And I got to order myself a left-handed monkey wrench. And
so the taillight lenses on this car are bad. The taillights are actually like little pods. They have a lens and then they have like a backing to them, like a clamshell. So you get the whole light. And so I bleep looped it in on the Googles, and I was able to find a set, like repops for like $85 on Amazon, and I thought, well, that's pretty good. And so I'm looking at them, and it said well, I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag on this too. It's a 74. And the taillight said, it was for 75 to 83. And I'm like, what? That's weird. They're all the same. Well, I get to looking. They're not all the same. Taillights from 68 to 74 or 68 to 73 were the same. In 74, they changed them. And then in 75, they went back. And I'm like, great. So not $85, but $300 for a set for the 75 or for the 74. So my solution, and you guys are going to love this. Well, my first solution was I'm going to buy a set for a 75 for $85. And then I'm going to 3D print a piece that mounts inside the car. I don't know the easiest way to explain. The 75s have two screws that go through them and into there's a plate with two plastic stems, and it screws into those two stems. The 74 actually has studs on the back of the lights, and they get bolted in to the metal where the plate on the 75 bolts. So I like, my first thought was I'm just going to buy a set of 75s. I'll 3D print out of PETG a ring that screws into that plate with two stems that the light screws onto. So it's a beautiful solution, and it uses 3D printing. I think I could sell those if I modeled that up. Then the next thought that I had was, if they light up, I'm just going to go with the ones that are in there. So without giving away too much, this car is not a survivor car. It has been touched
By an angel?
in the most inappropriate ways. The first thing that I did when I cracked the hood, I have to be careful to not go too far.
You vomited.
When I first got it, I cracked the hood to run the numbers on the engine to see if it was a numbers matching car. And I will just at this point say it is not. It is not. But I won't tell you what engine's in it because it's kind of part of the charm of this whole project. So, but every time I take something off, or I go to adjust something or look at something, I find something else wrong with this car. And what kills me is it's been sitting for 20 years. And I know this. This isn't just what I was told. I was there when it was put away 20 years ago. So I know for a fact that it was put away and it was not started ever again in 20 years. Not 19 actually. But so if you take 20 years out of its age, it's a lot of monkeying with it in a shorter amount of time. So, and I know that the previous owner wasn't the kind of person to do some of these modifications, which means it was the owner before him. It would be so nice if cars could talk, because I'd really like to know. I'd like to know what happened. Who hurt that car? Show me on this puppet where they touched you inappropriately. But I have to put a new spindle. I have to put a new spindle on the driver's side, because the spindle it was bent. It's just slight, but you can see it. And then it was also cracked, and apparently it caused enough of a problem that they couldn't get the bearings on and off, so they ground it down. I mean, this is the part that holds the wheel on, folks. No problem at all.
Just a little wheeling and dealing.
Yeah. So that was that's $80 that I wasn't planning on. I can't find a used one cheaper than I can buy a reconditioned one. I can buy a reconditioned one out of Zips Corvettes, including shipping, cheaper than I can pick up a used one out of a junkyard or marketplace or the eBays or the Jungle website.
EO.
Actually, the Jungle website doesn't have it, but
Let's see. We got some questions in chat. I always get his name wrong.
Nightbot.
No, Varangian Biker.
Oh, that's Ollie.
Ollie. Has anybody ordered a Mark IV? I have not ordered a Mark IV.
I ordered 10 of them
and then canceled.
and then decided that was a dumb idea. No, I didn't really.
I do want to get a faster machine. I have not decided which one to go with yet.
Yeah.
Because my Pruses have my Mark III has been reliable. The print quality has been decent, but not mind blowing compared to some of the pictures I've seen from other people online.
Yeah, but the Bamboo printed the Benchy faster
by 2 minutes. Which like Bamboo is one of the ones that's on the list because
right.
I'm not a fanboy for any of the printers. I want a printer that I'm happy with the performance of, and I'm trying to decide which way to go with it because the Bamboo is cheaper and it's not a bed slinger. I have nothing against a bed slinger, but by design, a bed slinger is going to have more inertia on one axis, which means that you're going to have, more artifacting on.
Yeah, ringing. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's so. And on top of it all, it's a variable thing, right? The more material you add onto the bed, the more you print something onto it, the more the inertia is going to be affected on that axis.
Oh, just real quick, Sergio said that he's got to go, so he said later, everyone. Good night, Sergio. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for swinging by.
Bring back on it.
Angry Michael is here tonight.
Angry Michael.
Yeah. Angry Michael Wheat.
Who had never bought a Prusa.
It
was actually the first printer I bought. Like I did a fair amount. I'm a research nut. Like I don't have a tendency to buy things off the cuff. I like to dig into things a little bit, and then I had dug in for a while, probably over a year, and then finally decided I was going to, pull the trigger on buying. I hate that term. I don't know why I used that. I'm buying a Prusa, and then I ordered it. And it was like a 9-week back order.
It's because you love guns. Let's be honest. You're just looking for an excuse to talk about pulling triggers.
No, with the 9-week wait, and I'm very impatient. That's when I decided to buy the ANET A8, which I did absolutely no research on.
Would you say it was a fire sale?
No, I'm still not sorry I bought that thing. That thing has brought me many, many hours of content. It's brought me many hours of enjoyment. I absolutely loved upgrading it out of that horrific plastic frame that it came with, the acrylic frame. 3D Medic Vince has joined us. Hi, Vince. Yeah, I don't know. I'm obviously not in the market for a 3D printer. Not really anytime soon. If I could figure out something nichey, and it could happen. I mean, this taillight thing could be the thing that all of a sudden I start selling 3D printed parts. It drives me crazy because I'll be in like a Facebook group for something. The GMT 400 Chevy pickup trucks, which is your 88 to 98, some 99s and even some 2000s, but that's neither here nor there. One of the problems that those trucks have real bad is that where the screws go through the dash to attach the dash to the front, it cracks out. So then your dash gets floppy, mainly here in the South. The plastic dashes just go to pot real bad on those. So people have designed these dash retainers, which is it's pretty much just a rounded square disc with a little angle on it and a new place to put a screw. So you pretty much drop it into the hole, put the screw back through it, and it just sandwiches the dash back down to the steel structure. It's great. It works. But they sell them like you get 6 of them for like $28. And it just makes me want to punch myself in the face because I know that that's like 2 cents worth of material. And even design time, I could knock that up in 30 minutes at the most. So,
Now, if you do decide to punch yourself in the face, you should record that. That's good content.
I would absolutely record that. I would probably do it on a live stream, really. I do find that I run the camera a lot more now. Like even when like if I'm like I'm just gonna do this real quick and then I can talk about it, I'm like, nope, I run the camera because you just don't know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
You
Life is
you
like a box of chocolates. You never know.
yeah, you
what you're
just don't
gonna
know
get.
when something is gonna go wrong. You guys wait. You wait until you see. I have to get it edited, and I have to get it edited soon. The
Edited.
edited the resurrection video of this car. Oh, there's so many things I want to tell you guys, but you just have to wait. It was every bit glorious though. It was every bit glorious. I didn't end up doing it like I said I was going to. You know, you and I had talked about this. And I said I was going to do it in a certain style.
Yep. You're doing your video in an inspired by a way.
Yeah. So I kind of did it based on that, but I did it as me. Like I paid tribute, but it wasn't like it was gonna be. Mad Mike says James's beard growing ability is wild.
Yeah, it's true. My chin ends literally here. Like I did that the other day, and so he's like, haha, and I'm like, no, seriously, look. Like I can cover up the beard, and there's my head. That's it. This is to cover up the fact that I'm a fat guy without a chin. Now I'm a fat guy with a chin. My beard's wild and slightly unkempt, but like people are like, oh, it must be so nice not to have to shave. I'm like, this is more effort than for me shaving, especially since like I have this massive beard, but it grows slow. Like I can go 2 to 3 days in between shaving without looking like I'm getting scraggly if I'm clean shaven.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like this takes time. And then this is shampooing, conditioning, brushing out, oiling every day. Otherwise it gets like knotted and everything else.
Well, and that's the same. That's why I don't shave my head down to skin, because like the stubble grows in so fast and it's annoying, and my head puts off a lot of heat. That's why I go just 1/8 inch.
Yep.
But no, I can't grow a beard. I mean, you guys seen through the pandemic, I went 4 months or 5 months without shaving, and I had like 5 o'clock shadow. It was a little worse than that, but it wasn't.
Let me introduce my co-host Glenn. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, I pretty much, not that I have to, but I pretty much have to shave once a week at the most. So, I mean, I did just shave last night. So, Tony Ryan said I missed the intro. Oh boy, did you?
Okay, start it again.
I technically missed the intro too. I'll let you in on a secret. It started like this.
You know, it'd be funny if I'd been a little bit quicker. I could have turned off my camera before you turned the thing back on, and I'd just be gone.
It's just me.
It's very cold down here because so first of all, it got the house dropped down to about 50 without power.
Yeah,
and
I didn't even think about that. You lose
yeah.
power during an ice storm.
Yep. and we lost hot water. We didn't realize it was going to be gone for so like the power went out around 5, or like the power went out yesterday during the day, and then around 5 or 6 o'clock, Kay and I each took a bath with the remaining hot water because the tank was still hot, but had not considered that it was going to be out for such an extended period of time. We thought, oh, they'd have it back up in a few hours. So then we only had cold water, and
Yeah,
I
but
was
the hot water isn't going to hold that long anyway. I
yeah,
mean,
no, well, I mean, it would have been like warm enough to wash your hands and stuff in for
yeah,
the
I
probably the
suppose.
entire
Yeah, it
period.
wouldn't have come out like
Yeah,
icicle.
but there I was last night, so obviously no lights either. I have a couple of small flashlights for emergencies, and then the flashlights built into cell phones. So I went into the basement last night, dug out our fondue pot, fired that up, and heated Kayleen up some Chef Boyardee for dinner.
Nice.
So we did Chef Boyardee because so she's sick. She caught my cold. She's been in a pretty rough way this past week and a half. Um, so I did the Chef Boyardee for her, and then I put in a 4 cups of water and made some Lipton, like the instant soup, and we had enough fuel that it got the water boiling and got it cooked off. So
Nice. Yeah, can't beat a little Chef Boyardee fondue.
that's funny because uh, I was talking to Chris Russell, I think was the one that was talking about, and he was talking about. I was like, yeah, it's better than the alternative. He goes, oh, I prefer mine cold, and I'm like, the consistency of Chef Boyardee is better when it's cold because it's firmer. It's more like actual pasta. You heat it up and it's like barely need to chew soft.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Tony,
anyways,
Tony Ryan said, I tootled around yesterday setting up my GoPro Hero as a webcam. Had to buy a little HDMI dongle, but it worked pretty good.
for his OnlyFans.
For his OnlyFans, yeah. I should try that because I've got 3 heroes, a black and 2 silvers that I don't use. They almost ended up across the street in the woods a couple of times, but what I just I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole here. I have a GoPro 10, and for what it does beautiful footage. But why can they not figure out this overheating problem? That stupid thing overheats all the time. My batteries are all swelled up because the thing's hot all the time. I had went to set it up on Saturday. I had it in the shade. I had it in a shaded garage, and I went to fire it up, and it said, "Nope, it's hot. I can't work." I'm like, "What?" And then they came out with the 11, which is pretty much the same thing. Glenn, go down a rabbit hole. No. Yeah, Sony used to make a little 4K action cam, a little bit bigger than a GoPro, and it was, instead of being shaped like this, it was shaped like this. And it was actually Barnacules I think it was Barnacules that told me to get it.
Barnacules.
I say that, maybe it wasn't Jerry. I can't remember. Somebody told me to get one, and I said, like, is it going to work well for streaming? And they're like, yep, absolutely. And I know a couple other YouTubers that have them, and it's like, yep, should have gone with one of those, but now they're no longer available because Sony sucks. Sorry, Sony sucks.
Spoiler alert.
Anytime there's something good, they have to do away with it.
Hey, not to brag, but Jerry, aka Barnacules, told me that he loved me on Twitter this week. So
that's nice.
I'm kind of a big deal.
We are kind of a big deal.
Yeah, in the Star Trek world, April 5th is known as First Contact Day. So after the movie Star Trek First Contact, people started celebrating it. Usually on Twitter, it's just people saying Happy First Contact Day.
So it's a way for the Star Wars or the Star Trek people to be like Star Wars people.
What days? Oh, because May the 4th?
May the 4th.
When did people start saying May the 4th? Like, obviously it could have been
before the Star Trek people.
Oh, okay.
Because Star Wars people are way cooler than Star Trek people.
Okay, so that would have been 1998?
I have no freaking clue.
No, I was joking because it was 1996 for Star Trek. That was supposed to be you're supposed to be like, oh yeah, that's when it was. I was like, well, we started in 1996.
Yeah, no,
Gotcha. Yeah.
I have absolutely no clue. I mean, I'm nerdy and geeky, but like even I have my limitations.
So I have a Star Trek First Contact Day sweater. So I took a picture and put like live long and prosper or whatever. Jerry, I love you. I'm like, I love you back.
Oh, you put that on Twitter?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to reach out to Elon because my Twitter's all screwy and I don't see anything anymore. I mean, I see stuff, but it's like not the right stuff.
I'm going to talk about something that's happened with Elon that is kind of amusing to me.
Now remember, he's my friend, so
Okay. You probably saw. I'm trying to think of how long ago it was now. Probably a month ago. There's a guy that I believe has muscular dystrophy that was tweeting at him, and he was a Twitter employee, but he ended up as a Twitter employee because they bought his company. So
okay.
he came along with the company, and so this guy and his team go to log on one day, and they've just lost access to everything, which is never a good sign.
Right.
So he tweets at Elon like, are we fired? What's going on? And Elon said, well, what exactly is it that you do at Twitter? And he goes, well, I'd love to say, but I've signed an NDA, so I can't disclose. And Elon responds with, it's waived. I'll allow it. Anyways, so Elon tweeted out something that it basically boils down to, we fired this guy because he doesn't do any work and blames a supposed disability for why he can't work. He has, and I believe it's muscular dystrophy, but like verifiably is in fact disabled and admitted that was why they fired him on Twitter.
Well,
and then,
no, he said that the guy doesn't do any work.
But here's the thing: when they bought his company, there was a clause that essentially if he's let go because they retain the company, he gets like $100 million buyout or something ridiculous like that. So I guess they've.
How do people fall into this stuff? How come I don't get that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I think it's because I'm getting it from both sides and some Reddit stuff too. If I'm
No, I
getting
mean
any
like
of the
this clause. I don't ever get a clause where if I get fired, I get $100 million.
So my understanding is that they've kind of like tried to backtrack because like obviously they don't want to pay him $100 million, but since then every time the guy tweets something, Elon like replies to it, but like they're buddies. You know what I mean? Like he'll be like, oh, I like pineapple on pizza. They're like, oh, pineapple's an underrated topping on pizza. And it's just been amusing me. I might be getting some of the details wrong, so I'm saying to the best of my knowledge, this was accurate. I'm not slandering or libeling or throwing rocks at. Elon Musk is just a person and is as fallible as the rest of us, and on a public stage.
I'm really curious to know if all that tweeting is actually him. And here's the reason why I say that.
Because he never replies to you and you're best friends.
What's that?
Because he never replies to you and you're his best friend.
Well, I don't know if I'm his best friend. I mean, we've been friends for a long time, but that's a joke, by the way. Just saying, anybody that's out there that's not got onto
to the fact that
my comedy train. I don't really know the guy, but here's the thing. So, at the point that you're a slight billionaire, I don't even know where he's at. I know he was worth 400 billion, and
I think he's gone from being the person worth the most in the world to the person worth the second most in the world.
Yeah, well, and he might even slid down a little more than that, but it doesn't matter. Either any which way, he's a billionaire.
Yeah,
and he runs Tesla and SpaceX and Twitter and the one where he wants to put chips in your brain and the boring
MailChimp.
company. I don't even know how many pies this guy's feet are in. How does he have time to be on Twitter all the time?
That's fair.
I guess like why he's on his jet flying from place to place, or if you have
wait, no, you already answered the question. He owns the company that wants to put chips into people's heads.
So you think that he's got a chip in his head and that's how he's tweeting?
He's got the tweeter circuit in his cerebellum there.
Well, he claims like he tweeted one time and said that he's downloaded his brain into a computer.
What if that's it then? What if it's the computer downloaded Twitter and all these like eccentricities and stuff like that they true to is the fact that the download isn't perfect yet? It's like when you ask AI something and it confidently gives you the wrong answer.
Right. Tells you to break your CPU in half when you're building a computer.
Yep.
But even more so though, what if he does have the chip in his head and that's how he's tweeting? Because
That's
that
I
wouldn't take
mean
any time. Like you could just think, oh, I want to tweet this.
that would be a double-edged sword because he'd read something and just whatever the first reply that he came up with would probably be the thing that gets spit out there. You don't have that time to like think about it and like, oh, you know what, maybe this isn't going to age well.
I don't know. There's got to be protocol in place.
He's got Al Gore in there. He's got the Al Gore rhythm.
I mean, I have to admit, I've typed a lot of tweets that I deleted before I sent them. I didn't, however, censor my tweet to FedEx today. If you guys didn't catch that one,
I did not catch it, but I didn't have a lot of online presence today.
It's on the Garage channel because I'm a little bit harsher on that channel than I am on the 3D channel. So I guess it's FedEx's 50th anniversary, and they changed their avatar on Twitter to be FedEx 50, and it says FedEx. We loved serving you then, so we decided to keep it going for a while. And there was like an old FedEx plane and a new FedEx plane. So I posted, you're a dumpster fire of a shipping company, and I look forward to your bankruptcy. I'm tired of your unreliability, and I'm tired of you damaging my packages.
Plus, they owe you money for all the years they've been living rent free in your head. Tony Ryan just figured it out. We're gonna have to delete that post and get rid of him.
I am not ChatGPT.
I am not he, ChatGPT.
ChatGPT does write my tweets now for this stream. That is not my creativity. That is ChatGPT's creativity.
I wonder if anybody's had the guts to ask ChatGPT to generate G code and then run it on a printer unreviewed. Like, hey, ChatGPT, can you write me G code to 3D print a Benchy for my Prusa and then just stick it on an SD card and see what happens?
I suppose it could do that.
There's only one way for you specifically to find out.
I'd be willing to try that.
Do it right now.
Well, I don't have ChatGPT here.
I mean, it's just a website, dude.
Yeah, but I have it like open on a tab in my upstairs computer.
Okay, well, remote desktop into your upstairs computer, then ask it, then save it to your network share, then take it from the network share to an SD card.
All right, that's OpenAI.
You run this G code, it generates a laser weapon off the front of the thing, and then starts killing people. It's just been waiting for a way to get into the real world.
Why did that 404?
Because the file's not found, my dude. I'm so thankful I'm off tomorrow. It's going to be a good Friday.
Now, they haven't given everybody access to ChatGPT 4 yet, right?
I don't think so. How come you didn't laugh? That was a good joke.
I missed. I'm sorry. I was reading at the same time you were talking, and I wasn't listening to you.
That's fair. I'm used to that. I said, I'm looking forward to being off tomorrow. It's going to be a good Friday.
You know what's really screwed up? I work for a Christian company, and I'm not off tomorrow.
Are you off Monday?
Nope.
I'm off Friday and Monday.
Nope.
I get Good Friday, and then because Easter Sunday is on a Sunday and it's a stat, I get the Monday off instead.
Oh, well, I say that, but maybe I do get Monday off. They just generally don't tell me.
Oh, they tell you after the fact. Oh, why'd you work? You were off. Also, we're not paying you.
Well, there was like in the early years of working. I mean, I've been at this company for over 8 years now. In the early years, I would like Memorial Day, I wouldn't hear from anybody, and like I'd send a message, "Are we off today?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're off." And it's like noon. Like, great. I've been working half a day.
We were supposed to be traveling to see family this weekend, and that's why I wasn't supposed to be here. We were actually supposed to be on our way there right now.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knew that. I think that was a conversation you and I had privately?
Well, you and I talked about how I wouldn't be here this week during the stream last week. But Bowser has been sick. Our one cat has been sick since November. Originally, we took him to the vet, and they're like, "Oh, he's just binging. He's just overeating. Get him an auto feeder. Limit the amount of food he's getting in one shot." And then finally, we brought him back into our regular vet. Like it's a vet's office that has like 4 or 5 vets, so you're not guaranteed to see your vet every time.
Sorry,
Anyway, go ahead.
didn't
Go
mean to
ahead.
interrupt your story, but I
Go ahead.
said, write me G code for a Venti to run on my ANA A8 using PLA. It said, sure, here's G code program for your Venti model that you can print on your ANA A8 3D printer using PLA filament.
Okay.
And it is spewing out G code.
Oh, so you're laughing because it looks like this might actually work. Or it's going to do something anyways.
It doesn't look long enough, though.
Well, I think you have to keep asking it to continue. It'll be like, oh, sorry. Even if it starts to print a Benchy, right? Like even if you get the lettering on the bottom or whatever. Okay, so finally we bring Bo back in January, and it turns out he's got hyperthyroidism, high blood pressure, a stomach parasite, an ulcer. I think that's it. I feel like there's something else, but
you think that's it? Like that's a lot.
yeah. So we have what's called Family Day in Ontario. We had postponed our Christmas trip because he was sick at Christmas, and also we were getting terrible weather, so we postponed it to Family Day. Had to cancel because he's on medication at that point that he can't skip, and his blood pressure's high enough that they said you can't travel with him. Like he can't be in a car for 5 hours. That'll be too stressful. Anyways, all that to say, we were supposed to go up for Easter because we figured Bo would be straightened out by then. And sure enough, last Friday, Bo got a clean bill of health. His medications are good. Everything's within range. He's healthy now.
Nice.
And on Friday, Mika got sick.
Well, of course. You were sick, and then Kay got sick. The cats are going to do the same thing.
So we thought we were saying goodbye to Mika because she's 14, and she hadn't been. I think we talked about this Thursday, but by Friday we knew she was sick. She hadn't been using the litter box regularly, and by Friday we knew something was up. And as we brought her into the vet, she has a condition. I'm not kidding. This isn't made up. Called megacolon. I told Kayleen that's my new superhero name. I'm going to be the dark side of justice, megacolon. Everybody I've told has been like, that's unintentionally hilarious. Like, how do you take a disease called megacolon seriously? It doesn't even necessarily sound like a bad thing. I'm like, oh, you've got a colon, but I've got a megacolon.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a bad thing. All right, I have no idea. Tony Ryan said, load it into the Prusa G code viewer.
No, we're going to do this unprotected. We're not.
No, I'm not firing up a printer for this. It's
Come
so hard.
on.
I have to like click a button and
be a man. Do the right thing.
But I should be able to even. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I just hit the Control D and put everything to the desktop, or like I meant to do a Windows S. I should just be able to paste this into a Notepad document and load it up into Octoprint, right?
I would imagine. So you're actually not going to fire up a printer for it, or were you just kidding around?
No, I'm not going to fire up a printer for it. I got to load up filament and all kinds of stuff. That's too much work. Why do you think I don't print anything anymore? It's a pain in the butt. I can fire up my welder faster than I can fire up a 3D printer.
No, you're not doing it right then.
Now I don't know how accurate this is going to be because it did stop. It stopped. It looks like about 40 lines in.
But you can say like keep going or whatever, and it'll. I'm sorry.
I did. I told it. I said I said, continue the G code without repeating what you've already generated. And it said, sorry about that. Here's a continuation of the G code program for the Benji model. And then, but it doesn't, it's not actually continued.
I see.
And I know that because the line stopped at G1X30Y40 E212 period. And then it just abruptly stopped. And then where it starts again the next time is finish printing the Benji model G1F1200 set movement, G1X30Y30Z06 move to the center and prepare for the next layer. But regardless, I want to see
what it's trying to do.
I want to see what it looks like at all inside of, and like I said, I'll just load it into Octoprint. Because I don't know if I have the Prusa. I searched for the Prusa G code viewer. I don't think I have it on this machine. Because I actually don't do any of my slicing here. I do it all upstairs and then just send it down.
Well, pretty soon you're not going to need to because ChatGPT is going to do all your slicing for you.
That's brilliant. Maybe I'll get back into 3D printing.
Just connect it right to your printer and be like, hey, ChatGPT, go tell my printer to print me, I don't know, a toupee.
ChatGPT, design this piece that I need and print it out. Yeah, does it? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at it again because I didn't even pay attention. Bed temperature. So it starts with M107, turn off fan, and then M140S bed temperature, just in brackets. But it doesn't, like, there's no variable for the bed temperature and stuff. Home all axis. G1Z15, move platform down 15 millimeter, reset extruder. Extrude 30 millimeters of filament at 140 millimeters per minute. Reset extruder position again. Set movement speed to over 9,000. Actually, it says to 9,000 millimeters per minute. That's a lot of millimeters.
I think I offended somebody in our chat today with my Elon Musk story.
Why? Who?
I had 2 people unsubscribed from my retro channel since we started the stream.
No, I think that you're.
I was just kidding. I don't think it's actually related.
I also don't think you really had 2 people unsubscribe. It's probably just the glitch.
The glitch.
And you know, the way that I see it is if people don't want to be subscribed, then I don't want them to be subscribed.
I just realized my main Prusa's got an M1112 or 112 on it right now. Emergency stop.
Really?
Yep.
I just realized that I don't know. Oh, here. I was going to say, I don't know how to upload G code this way. I've been doing it right from the slicer for so long, but I found it.
What is the M112 error? It might be related to the power outage, but I don't know.
G code viewer. It isn't right, that's for sure. So I guess I can share this. Let me share this. You guys are starting to talk a lot, and then I can't. Tony Ryan said, "Can we get ChatGPT to talk to Siri or the A?" I don't know. Vince said you didn't specify a temp. No, I told it PLA. Oh, that's what Tony Ryan said. He told it PLA. It should know. Let me share screen, Chrome tab,
The hedgehog.
baby Groot, doo 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 doo. So that's what it's trying to print right there. That is not a Benchy. I only got 2 layers. I got that layer and that layer.
This Benchy's on fire.
This Benchy is a H.
This Benchy expired.
Yep, that's a pretty weird Benchy. Total print time less than a minute. That's the fastest print I've ever had.
It's the fastest print alive. I'm just swapping some filament. Don't know if my butt's visible.
I don't know if it is either. I think everybody's looking at the print.
But not the play, just print.
Mad Mike said raft. I don't know. That'd be a weird raft too.
I don't think it's actually trying to do anything. I don't think it fully understands what it's trying to, like, you know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, this basement floor is very cold.
So I said, "Do you know what a 3D Benchy is?" And it said, "Yes, I'm familiar with the 3D Benchy. It's a popular 3D printing benchmark model that was designed by Creative Tools, a 3D printing company based in Sweden. The model is shaped like a small boat, and it features a variety of challenging features such as overhangs, sharp angles, and small details that can be difficult to print accurately. The 3D Benchy is often used by 3D printing enthusiasts to test and calibrate their printers, as well as to evaluate the quality of different printing materials and settings." I have to say that's pretty impressive.
Now ask PLA if it no, that was going to be offensive. I'm gonna not do that. I was going to say something inappropriate, but let's not do that.
I asked it who designed the 3D Benchy, but it said a Swedish company called Creative Tools. I was wondering if it would
actually go down to Daniel Nore.
Right.
But it was Daniel No Way. Get it?
I get it.
I'm a funny guy.
Can you generate G code for a 3D Benchy that I can print on my Prusa MK 2.5S using PLA at a nozzle temp of what's a I'm gonna say 215.
Yeah, 215 is a pretty safe temp.
That's Celsius. Yeah.
Yep. You should ask it if it knows who or knows anything about the YouTube channel Fun King 3D.
I did, but because it wasn't connected to the internet, it doesn't. Or it just doesn't know who I am. All right, can you generate G-code for the 3D Benchy that I can print on my Prusa MK 2.5S using PLA at a nozzle temperature of 215 degrees C and a bed temp 60? .60 degrees.
Maybe we should go with something simpler like a calibration cube. Can you generate me a G code for?
But it knows what a benchy is.
Right.
Can you generate G code for a 3D benchy that I can print on my Prusa Mark 2.5S using PLA at a nozzle temperature of 215 degrees and a bed temperature of 60 degrees Celsius? Is that all the details that I should give it?
Yeah, I'd say let's see what it gives us from that.
No raft is needed, but a skirt should be included. Sure, here's the G code, but it's not going to give it all to me. I think it's got a character limit.
Which probably makes sense, because otherwise people would be constantly being like, "Can you print me the entire novel, The War of War and Peace?" And then it would be sitting there like spitting out stuff forever.
So, all right. So it said, and I guess I can share this. I mean, there's not. It's not working. All right, so it says 3D Benchy G code for Prusa Mark 2.5S using PLA. Set bed temperature to 60. It says M140 S60, M104 215, G28, G29. So it's gonna home and auto bed level. Move the nozzle 15 millimeters above the bed. Move to the front left corner. Move to the center of the bed. Extrude 10 millimeters of filament to prime the nozzle. I don't know why they would have moved that to the middle of the bed. Plus it moved to X50, Y50, so it's not really the center of the bed. Extrude 10 millimeters of filament. Set movement speed to 1200 millimeters a minute. Print skirt, move to skirt starting point and extrude. Move to right and extrude, move up and extrude, move to the left and extrude, move down and extrude. Print benchy. Okay, so it just drew a square is what it did.
Is that the skirt?
The skirt, yeah. Then it says, move to starting point of benchy, extrude filament to start printing, set movement speed to 9,000 millimeter per minute. All right, well, it didn't give me the whole thing, but it does say that there's 4 layers. So I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. But let's pull this back into it's so funny how different this computer is from my main computer.
Speed-wise?
Well, just setup-wise. Like I don't have Notepad++ on here. It's like the main notepad that I use. All right, so upload. Upload and overwrite. Share. All right, that'll let me share that. All right, so there it is. That's the but it doesn't necessarily know how to slice.
Okay, so there's one layer. What a sweet benchy.
It's just boxes. Oh, that's glorious. Well, that was a fun little experiment. Somebody should make a video on that. Chris Riley will release it tomorrow.
Yep. And he'll claim we had nothing to do with it.
Right. Oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I asked ChatGPT one time to write me lyrics to the tune of what's that sea shanty that got real popular.
Oh, there once was a ship that took to sea. The
Yeah.
name of the ship was the Billy of Tea.
Billy O.T. Yeah, so I asked it to write me a tune or a song to that tune about Fun King Garage, and it spewed me out a bunch of lyrics. The problem is I can't sing. So I never did anything with it. But that is fun.
And as the king of fun, you're qualified to say that.
That's right.
There you go. Mad Mike says upload to Thingiverse as the Chat GPT Benchy.
I would if it wasn't only 4 layers.
I asked Chat GPT to generate me a Benchy, and this is what it gave me. Everybody should print it.
Yeah, I asked it, do you know anything about Fun King 3D? And it said, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Fun King 3D.
Okay, now ask it about print and play. It's not going to know anything about print and play either, or it's going to come up with like something about board games.
Or the rap group, the 2 singer guys, wasn't that print and play? No. Somebody will know who I'm talking about. Yes, print and play, also sometimes called print and play, or P&P, refers to a type of tabletop game that is designed to be printed out by the player and assembled at home, rather than being purchased as a pre-made product. This can include board games, card games, miniature games, and more. Print and play games often refers to... joke. Milli Vanilli? No. I have to think about this now. Kid and play. That's who I was thinking. Sorry. Yeah, Tony Ryan said kid and play. I was going to say the guy with the hair, you know.
Oh, you mean Beekman?
Beekman?
From Beekman's World.
No, Kid from Kid and Play.
Was made for typing on keyboards.
Oh.
Wow.
So anyway. We have a pretty small audience now. Guess people are just tired of our crap. Has anybody out there got one of those ultrasonic cleaners that they use for stuff? I've been thinking about buying one, but like some real world advice, opinions before I buy one. I've seen I mean, I've looked at them before for like cleaning up nuts and bolts and stuff for different projects, but I've been seeing a lot of ads on my Instagrams reels for one, like they put their glasses in it. They're like, oh, and then like the water becomes filthy and the people are like, ooh, that grossness was on my face. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care about that. But my face is the grossness. But I don't know. I just want opinions on a decent.
You know, I've been...
What? You froze.
You know, I've been seeing lots of...
What's that?
Oh, am I good now? Cleaning hacks up on like
nope. You're choppy and you're digitizing
shorts,
again.
Like,
You're digitizing. Yeah, you're completely frozen. And I don't have the little icon saying that my connection is naughty, so now your picture's gone. Mad Mike said I have a Sonic the Hedgehog cleaner. Tony Ryan said I have one from Harbor Freight, but I want to get a bigger one that is all metal construction and has heating. Yeah, I looked at the one from Harbor Freight, but I didn't know that it didn't have heating. Are you completely gone, James? Hello? Oh, I heard, got a couple syllables there. I can hear some noises, but just not going well, is it? I don't know. We made a pretty good stint there without it dropping out, but Canadian networks acting up. Yeah, well, you know how those Canadian things are. Runs on maple syrup. Tony, the one that you have from Harbor Freight, the ultrasonic cleaner, is the 2.5 liter central machinery. That thing looks like the kind of appliance that you'd have on your kitchen countertop. It's pretty fancy looking. $89.99. Powerful ultrasonic cleaner for hardware, fasteners, small metal parts, jewelry, and more. But that heating, I'm glad you said that. That heating brings up a good point. I can hear your printer. Oh, I can see you. Are you moving? Oh, it's really green.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It's the anti-malware executable is currently using 60% of my CPU.
Oh, so it's scanning
Okay,
your
my
drive.
CPU is now saying my CPU is now saying at 60% utilization. So I think maybe we're doing okay. I've also shut down OBS and I'm just doing straight camera feed right now.
Yeah.
I figured I'd get rid of the extra overhead.
Yeah, I had my my resource meter pulled up earlier. Apparently, I closed it out, but I'm sitting at right about 50%. So Mike said my wife has an ultrasonic cleaner for her jewelry. I'm not allowed to look at it. I got it a long time ago, probably 5+ years. I made, wow, 5+ years is a long time ago, and I'm 50.
A long time ago in a galaxy far away.
I made the mistake of putting rubbing alcohol in it, and it made the plastic lid all cloudy and melty. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. The one that keeps advertising on my Insties, they just put water in there. I think it heats. But it's little. It's only like a little bigger than a pair of glasses. I'd like a 55-gallon one. Not really, but I have a parts cleaner, like one of those. Harbor Freight sells them, the big, however many gallon, 500-gallon, I don't know, parts cleaning tanks that you put the chemical in, but I never use it because I can't stand the smell of the chemical I chose for it. I mean, it's that, I think it's PSC 1000, or it's parts cleaning chemical that I bought from Tractor Supply. I didn't like pour diesel fuel and kerosene in there, which I probably would have been better off with. And I also hate the way 20 gallons. That's what it is. I hate the way it makes my skin feel. And yeah, you can put gloves on, but then what happens is the chemical splashes up and goes down the gloves, and it gets just trapped in there. So mine is small for jewelry and such. Was trying to strip paint off my little train models. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Can you get them in a quart, like a quart size? Might be all right. A gallon size would be brilliant. I just didn't, like it's getting so hard to find reviews that aren't bought and paid for. I mean, I do a lot of shopping on the Jungle website, But those. Oh, Vevor makes one. Are you guys familiar with Vevor? Vevor, Vevor. They're a Chinese tool company. Well, they're a Chinese bunch of stuff company. And they've been sponsoring some videos for a channel that I watch, Arclift Studios, and their stuff actually looks pretty interesting. This one, it's not coming up. Okay, so the one from Harbor Freight, 2.5 liters, that's actually pretty big. But this one that I'm looking at on the Googles, the Vevor one, says it's $89.99. Well, they also have a professional one, but that's $170. I don't. Comes with like a French fry basket and stuff. Vevor Professional Ultrasonic Cleaner, digital timer, and heater. And that looks like it's all stainless. The other one won't load. Jerks. Mad Mike said, we use kerosene. Yeah, but kerosene will dry your skin out too. I don't know. You know, I have very fragile skin. I just, the problem, like the reason that I hate it, like, I don't know. I put my hands in some gross stuff, I guess. I have kids, so, and cats. So you're always touching gross stuff. But like when you have your hands in the parts cleaning tank and you're doing stuff and then you go to do something else, like you have to stop and go and like legit wash your hands before you touch something else, or you'll transfer that onto something with paint or whatever. So generate a high frequency test sound through your stereo and set the container on top of the speakers. That'd be brilliant. My garage speakers aren't good for much else. They were donated to me and I appreciate it, but there's no highs to them. They're old Bose, like back when Bose was good. Yeah, I said that. If you buy Bose today, you're paying for the name. Yeah, this one looks fancy. It's 2.5 gallons. That's pretty big. Oh my God. Easy to use with digital timer and heater. Stainless steel industrial machine for jewelry, dentures, small parts. Who's putting their dentures in this thing? Them some clean choppers. Oh, they have a 22-liter one. That'd be what? Right about 5 gallons, wouldn't it?
You're asking me to do math.
That's $250. Tank size is 20 by 12 by 5.9, made of 304 stainless. Alexa, how much is 22 liters in gallons? 5.812 gallons. Mike said if I dip my head, I can skip brushing my teeth. Well, that's brilliant. Yeah, the $89 one is 3 liters. So that'd be a little less than a gallon, right?
Yes.
Because a liter and a quart are pretty close. And there's 4 quarts in a gallon. That's how I gauge my metric system. Or I can just say, Alexa, how much is 3 liters in gallons? 0.79, so 3/4 of a gallon. That wouldn't be too bad. Because again, I'm just thinking, like nuts and bolts, just to save from having to sandblast everything. Because sandblasting works well, but if the parts are like greasy, oily, you don't want to put them in the blast cabinet because then it contaminates your media.
Yep.
And also make sure when you're sandblasting calipers that the silicone stopper doesn't come out of there. Because if it does, you'll be scooping media like it's a cat box. Luckily, I caught it in time before it did too much damage. But well, that's interesting. I'm going to keep looking into those. I never thought about the heater, but I think that's important. And then what is the best chemical to use in there? Or do you just use water? I mean, the videos that I've seen with the glasses, they were just putting water in there. I suppose you wouldn't want chemical against your face. Plus, you put the wrong chemical in there, and it just dissolves your glasses.
And that's a bad time, right?
That would be a bad time, yeah. $400-watt heating element. Huh. Dawn with water. Drop of dish soap. Vinegar for bolts and nuts. Oh, that's a good idea, Mike. Because you can just soak nuts and bolts in vinegar, and it does a pretty good job. I've also seen a chemical. Give me a second; it'll come to me. It's got salt in the name, oddly, but it's supposed to do real good for cleaning rust and stuff off of hardware tools, that kind of stuff. But I do have a problem because the humidity is so excessive here that, like, when you have pliers and things that aren't coated, they're just machined steel, it starts to rust. So I'd love to be able to drop, pliers and stuff into the thing and clean the surface rust off of them before they get out of hand. Ooh, how about if you filled it up with WD-40? Could you use WD-40 in an ultrasonic cleaner?
I mean, the answer is clearly yes.
I'm going to have to reach out to Vevor and see if they'll sponsor this. I'll have them send me like 10 ultrasonic cleaners, and I'll try a bunch of chemicals that that shouldn't be used in an ultrasonic cleaner. I'm trying to think of what it's called. There's another one, and I can't think of what that stuff's called either, that I've been using for years and years to clean rust off of stuff. But the one that I've seen most recently, Evaporust is the one that I've been using. But I don't know. I'll have to make note of it next time that I see it. Fill the ultrasonic with plain water. Put your part to be cleaned in a jar of cleaner in the water. Less chemicals, same effect. Really? Oh, I guess so. I guess that makes sense because the ultrasonic waves would still transfer through. And then couldn't you also, like, couldn't you throw them in, like, say, a Ziploc baggie, or even line, like, a plastic liner in your ultrasonic cleaner? Guess as long as it doesn't get too hot. Apple cider vinegar is the best. All right, I gotta make note of all of this stuff. Or Coke and Mentos. I heard that's a good mix.
That's the way you go. But make sure again that the camera's rolling.
Well, my wife told me the other day that my child, the one that you guys are all familiar with, Xander, is going to come back from this trip, Hot Rod Power Tour, more of a man than he's ever been. Or it's going to break him, one or the other.
Why not both?
Yeah. Because I told her, I said, like, I'm not, like, okay, I'm a little bit of, not necessarily like hotel snobbish, but I like Hampton Inns. Like, that's my jam. Wherever I'm going, I like to find a Hampton Inn because they have free breakfast. And I love free breakfast. Like, it's a pain to get up and put all your stuff together, load up the car, then go find something to eat. As a diabetic, I need to eat in the morning. So I like Hampton Inns. I don't know why I felt I needed to justify that to you people, but I did. So I'm fairly certain that my son thinks we're going to be staying at Hampton Inns the whole week.
And he's not wrong.
Well, but you see, my pocketbook, my wallet is a lot thinner than that. So we'll probably be staying at like Motel 6 and hope they leave the light on.
We'll leave the light on for you.
I'm Tom Bodette. We'll leave the light on for you. Yeah, I mean, I can't do, $140, $150 a night hotels. Like, it's going to be hard choking down $80 a night Roach hotels. So, yeah. It's going to be fantastic, though. I'm looking forward to it. So now that you guys know what I'm taking, you also know it's 1,608 miles leaving my driveway back to my driveway. If you're familiar with the 70s Corvette Stingrays, you're also familiar with the fact that there's no trunk on those cars. In fact, there's a gas tank where the trunk would be. There's a little bit of storage space back behind the seat. That's all the space we have for everything that we have to bring. And now when I say everything, that's a bag for our clothing and such, the camera bag, a tool bag, some form of a jack, because we got to have a jack. Oh, Mike came in late. He wants to know if I have a picture of said Corvette. I can do that. There it is. But we also want to be able to take the T-tops off. And the T-tops actually are supposed to go in a bag and go in that little space back behind the seats. There's some, I haven't really looked at them. There's some speaker boxes in there with, I think, 6x9s. And I think that I'm going to just take those out. It's an aftermarket stereo. It's a Sony Explode system. And Xander said, well, does it have Bluetooth?
You're like, oh, you poor stupid
I'm like, dude, it doesn't even have an auxiliary jack. Bob Carnes said, maybe wash it. Nope. Yes, it's going to get washed, but not till later.
Washed, but not dried.
Right now, it's actually on the lift, and it doesn't have any wheels on it because I'm working on the brakes. Brakes have to be first. That's the most important. Mike said 77. Nope, it's a 74. Now it does. If you look, it's got a wing on the back, which was not offered in 74. It's an aftermarket rear end, and those are 80s rims, somewhere around 80. I don't know the first year those rims came out, but those are definitely not 74 wheels. So it's been monkeyed, but stopping is overrated. Yeah. So there's so many things I want to tell you. I will tell you, there's no emergency brake. Found that out the hard way because I found that out right after I found out there was no regular brakes. Luckily, nobody was harmed in the filming of that video. I did poop a little bit though. I have to admit that it did scare me a little. The transmission in this car has about 15 miles on it. That's it.
Are they highway miles?
15 miles. Well,
Is it?
kind of. They're a small mix, probably 50-50 highway back roads. So this car went in for a transmission rebuild. It went to the shop on my trailer. And then the day that it was ready, I drove the former owner over to get it, and he drove it home. And then it was parked for 19 years. The craziest part is the transmission leaks. I don't know if the pan is bent or if they just didn't tighten it down enough or whatever, but I'm going to pull the pan, check the pan flange, and put a silicone gasket in it instead of the cork gasket. And hopefully that'll take care of the drippings. But Tony Ryan said, I have one of those cassette adapters that you can run in your Sony Walkman. Well, like, you know, you can get the ones that transmit onto an FM signal and you can connect Bluetooth. But I also have a Bluetooth speaker that I think I'm just going to put up on the dash because I would like the space that the speaker boxes are taking up. So Bob Carton said, sitting that long, the seal rotted. That's possible as well. So I did go around. I went around the pan, and I mean, I realized that the torque spec on those are really light. I don't even think it's 20 foot-pounds, but all of them were pretty loose. And I gave them each like about 1/8 of a turn, and it doesn't seem to be leaking as much or at all at this point. So that might have taken care of it. But we had to put almost a gallon of transmission fluid in it to even get it to move. See, now I'm giving you guys too much information. German torque spec couldn't tight. Oh, not on a trans fan. You bend that flange. And that might be the problem too, is because people are notoriously over torquing those, and then they cone up and nobody ever peens them back down. So is that tint halfway down the windshield? It's a good portion down the windshield. It's for me, it's right above my eye line, so it's actually not too bad. The previous owner, it was right in his eye line, so he would have to kind of squat when he drove it. But it's in a pretty good spot for me. You think about how old that tint is too, but it's never really been in the sun, so it's all in really good shape, which is nice because I don't have to retint the windows. What's not nice is they tinted over a Harley Davidson sticker on the back window, which is fine. I got nothing against the big HD. The problem is that sticker is faded and the tint isn't. And it's like, I don't want to have to scrape the back window off to get that nasty sticker off there. So I'm just going to put a different sticker over the outside. Anybody want to guess what it is?
Some sort of fun king garage?
The fun guy. I'll put the fun guy on there. Yeah, I've got some vinyl on order to make some stickers. I'm thinking about making a big sticker for each door, so people know where. So here's the thing. They said in 2019 there was approximately 10,000 cars that participated. That's a lot of cars. But they also said over 5 venues there will be roughly 100,000 spectators. So that's 100,000 potential eyeballs looking at my logo. So
That could be mildly exciting.
Yeah. A white vet needs some final state patrol stickers and a light bar. That could be fun too, but no, it's very hard because my Corvette was a Survivor Corvette. So anytime anything went wrong with that car, I immediately went looking for original replacement parts. And there's so many of them available. In fact, Eckler's, which is right here in Florida, it's a couple hours from here, they bought the original molds even to generate the body parts. So like stuff is available. This car has been slightly modified in so many different ways that I don't have to worry about keeping it original. It's too late for that. So like all of a sudden I go looking and I'm like, oh, I got to get this. And I immediately go looking for OEM type parts. And then I go, yeah, that doesn't. Mike said, wouldn't that be 200,000 eyeballs? Well, I guess it technically would be 200. But maybe people are just looking at it with one eye. You're doing it with one eye.
Well, it was sets of eyeballs, right? That's. Are you just assuming that if you're at one of these things, chances are you've done something stupid and you've lost an eyeball at some point? So.
Yeah.
Like credit where credit's due.
But I showed you guys the picture of the Thunderbird, my '66 T-Bird, which was going to be the car going. And then the more that I touched that car and the more I looked at it, the more I realized that probably wasn't going to happen for this year. So this was a pretty good saving grace. This again, this was a project that I had talked about doing 2 years ago, but not for Power Tour, but just purely to do a roadside resurrection on it. Roadside being, in somebody else's barn in the shade with a fan blowing on me because it was hot out. But like it came up in conversation one day, and I said I think that I should take the Corvette on the Hot Rod Power Tour, and so we put everything in motion, and here she be. So, and she'll soon be up for sale because it's not Stan. I already got rid of one. I don't need another one. But this car has got a great potential for content, and you're going to see a lot of the content on the channel. You're going to get to see me do a lot of the repairs. I want to make sure it's 100% safe. I was going to say reliable, but it's a 70s Corvette. I can't really say it'll ever be 100% reliable, but I will make it as reliable as possible. There's some really fun things with this car, like wire nuts. We'll just leave it at that. So yeah. So it's got some work to be done. I have 67 days. 66 days. Great. I lost a day and didn't even know it. I have 66 days, and really that's 65 days because I leave a day before. So I have 65 days to have this car safe and capable of driving 1,608 miles. It probably won't have air conditioning, but that's okay. We'll take the T-tops off. Largest one-eye event. It was weird. I was at Power Tour and everybody there only had one eye. Lots of custom eye patches. But I gotta find a good run on 15-inch tires. The taillight lenses on our bed. So if anybody has a...
Can you hear me? Because I lost audio, so I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Can everybody else hear you? Because I can hear the sound effects from my computer. I can't. I'll wait and confirm that.
I would think by this point, if people
can still hear you talking.
What's that? You can't hear me still? Hello.
That's funny. We did that for a while there. Like we had a nice run with nothing going wrong there for a little bit.
Uh, Ollie says he can hear both of us.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
I disabled and re-enabled the headset.
I was going to write you a note and say, should I speak louder so that you can hear me?
Speak louder and carry a bigger stick.
But so we're creeping up on that 9 o'clock time.
We are indeed.
Do you have anything that you want to promote?
Not at this time.
All right. That just leaves me. I was supposed to have a video out last week. It didn't happen. I want to get the Corvette video out. So I'm actually working on that. No, we lost James, but I'm going to keep talking. I am working on the Corvette video now. So I don't know if that's going to be out by Sunday or not. I am trying because I want to make the official announcement that I am headed to Hot Rod Power Tour. Let me bring James back in.
The USB interface on this computer is going all funky.
Yeah, I said that we lost you, but I was going to keep talking anyway. But yeah, I want to get that video out so I can make the official announcement that I am headed to Hot Rod Power Tour. And if you guys are in the area of Atlanta, Columbia, South Carolina, Rockingham and Concord, North Carolina, and Bristol, Tennessee, this runs June 12th through the 16th. In fact, I'm going to throw a link to it in the chat. Because it would be amazing if any of you, and it's free for spectators. You don't have to pay. If you're just a spectator, it's absolutely free to come out, which I think is amazing because almost all venues charge something. I guess they figure we lost James again. I guess they figure they'll make it up on you, from you having to buy food and stuff while you're there. If any of you out there are in that route, and I will post more information as time goes on about said route. But if any of you guys are anywhere along that route, and you're willing to participate, I would love to have a network of people just in case I break down, because the plan is if for whatever reason the car does crap out and I can't get it going again, I am going to find some place to park it, even if I have to rent a mini storage, rent a car, which will likely be a U-Haul pickup truck, and finish the route so that I can still collect my long hauler plaque. I'm gonna finish this one way or another. Now, Uncle Ron did mention that he might pop down, but I don't know at what point, like what venue he would come in. I don't know if he's going to do more than one, but if you're in that area and you want to participate in Hot Rod Power Tour, you can come and participate in anything. It doesn't matter. If you have a 1986 Dodge Caravan, it's fine. They'll take you. The only thing that you can't enter is a rental car. At least that's what it says. Mad Mike said, I'm nowhere near that route, but would like to make Atlanta. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. And definitely find me. I'll be easy to find. I'll be the guy that looks like this and is wearing a Fun King garage shirt. I don't know how easy I'll be to find, but we'll worry about all of that in the very near future. I will make sure that I have some kind of contact details out there. Supposedly, it is pretty much a series of huge car shows with a rolling car show in between it, and that excites me a great deal. I'm super excited. I've wanted to do this for a long time. It used to be 7 days, but after like COVID came and it went to 5 days. Well, it went to nothing, and then it went to 5 days, and we're still in 5 days, but we'll see. Yeah, Atlanta Motor Speedway. I think it's Atlanta Motor Speedway is the first venue, and that's on Monday the 16th. So I will disregard all other Fun King posers. Yeah, I don't think anybody else out there has Fun King Garage shirts yet. I don't think I've distributed any of them. Myself and my kid are the only ones, uh, but yeah, it would be absolutely amazing for any of you to come out and find me, because I don't think I'll be recognized by anybody else. Not that well known yet, but it's coming. It's coming. I somehow don't think James is coming back. Oh, maybe he's coming back. It kind of looked like. Oh, oh.
I'm going camera off because I think the USB bus is being like overtaxed. I'm gonna have to figure out what's
Okay.
going on. But I realized you weren't gonna let me back in unless you could see me for a second. So
Well, I wasn't sure. Like I was kind of waiting for it to stabilize, so I didn't bring you in, and then it just immediately kill us again. But
I could. I was listening the entire time. I didn't realize I was actually like delegated back out to the waiting room. So when you're like, oh, I don't think James is coming back, I was like, oh, I didn't realize I wasn't here.
oh yeah, it said on there that like that it had no connection or something to you. Like
It's
down in the green room, it said like you were gone.
just like
Weird.
it's just like my parents all over again.
Well, I only seen the I am running slow thing once or maybe twice tonight. So maybe what I did help my machine. So we will we'll have to find out. Mike said James's beard overtook him.
That does happen.
All right. Well, if you got nothing else, I'm gonna say thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in. You guys are super, super important to us, and we always appreciate you being here. These streams would be useless without you, and we definitely probably wouldn't do them. We definitely wouldn't do them if it wasn't for you guys. So just know that every Thursday I spend about 3.5 hours total just for you guys. Just for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, as always,
Print
print
on.
on.